They had the top prospects of Major League, I believe 3 weeks ago. And I was procrastinating on the top prospects of the Mets. But one thing that I want to say is that who I think is going to be better between AJ Ewing and Carson Benge. Now, granted, Carson Benge is the number 2 prospect of the Mets. Nºৰীষ্টis number 1, which he should be. Then number 3 is Nºৰীষ্টyd, and number 4 is AJ Ewing. In my view, is usually the top 100. A lot of these prospects, they're major league ready, close to major league ready. Most of them, they are ranked in the top, in the top 100. And why? Because you're almost for sure they're going to make it to the major leagues. The rest of them, they could be top prospects, top players that they still haven't passed rookie ball, single A, or whatever the case might be. But I want to compare Carson Benge and AJ Ewing. I never seen them in person play. But this is just my personal opinion on who I think is going to be better. Now, granted, Carson Benge, he's getting the opportunity in spring training to be the left fielder or probably even the center fielder. Who knows if Luis Roberts will pan out. I know that he has got AJ Melendez also. I see that as it's a bench player. You can't complain. You can't pay a lot of money for a bench player. Now, who do I think is going to be the better player, Carson Benge, AJ Ewing? Looking at their stats, I just noticed that Carson Benge doesn't strike out a lot. In addition, I'm just going to look at his stats right away, right here. His pop is not that, I'm not going to say is that great. I mean, last year he hit 15 total home runs. Before that, I believe he hit 18 and 7 home runs the other prior. But we have to remember he's moving up. In Syracuse, he hit 3 home runs. Another thing that I like to look is at stolen bases, 25 stolen bases throughout his minor league career. He did have 3 in AAA, 0 stolen, caught stealing, but his average was 178. Overall, his average was a 280. He did hit 300 in single ball, in single and double A in 2025. And then afterwards, he did plummet to 178 in AAA. Now, we cannot compare that with only someone that hasn't even reached, let me double check, past singles, double A. But I wanted to look at the stats of 2025 of AJ Ewing. He had A plus, double A, and those are the 3 that he played. But at the highest of his, the highest that he went is double A, and these are his stats, 0 home runs, not a lot of power as well. But he did have 12 stolen bases, 2 caught stealing, and a 339 batting average. He did have an A 400, A plus 288, and a double A, like I mentioned, 339. If I look at the stats and I look at a player on the stats and the way I think they're gonna pan out, I think AJ Ewing has a little bit more leverage. In 2025 overall, he has 70 stolen bases, but like I said, A plus and A, you're not facing the top-notch material like if you're in AAA, because in AAA, if you've never been to a AAA game, there's players that are trying to go back to the major league. There's players that are rehabbing. There's players that basically they're on the brink of making it to major league. When I went to AAA, these are the players that I saw. Walker Buehler, Freddie Peralta, Corbin Burns, Jack Flaherty, Alex Reyes when he used to be good. Players that they're on rehab assignment or, how can I say this, trying to make it back to the major leagues like Tim Lincecum. I know Clayton Kershaw was at one point. By the way, this is the Texas Rangers minor league system and they do play the Dodgers. And Tim Lincecum was trying to make a comeback with the Rangers. As you can see, the opponent that you're facing is a lot better. So I give that part to Carson Benge, but I feel just looking at the stats that AJ Ewing is going to be a little bit better at least on this year. Last year, his average and so on was pitiful, a 228 and a 254. Compared to Carson Benge, I believe that his numbers have been in the 300s most of his minor league career. So he is consistent on that. But AJ Ewing, he could play the infield if he plays second base. And that's one thing that I noticed. Yeah, Marcus Semien, 2 years, it's worth it. You have somebody that is trying to compete for that spot later on. Plus the international player named Pena from last year that we paid him X amount of money. He could move to second or whatever the case might be. They were building these players. And this is one thing. I know I'm comparing AJ Ewing and Carson Benge, which I think if I look at the stats, AJ Ewing is going to have a better career. But at the same time, Carson Benge is already knocking at the door to be in the MLB. And his stats are not lying. Stern's draft, that's a big plus. Why? Because he's trying to put his I forgot what it's called. Basically, his hands on the Mets. Yeah, this is my prospect. This is my prospect. This is my player. And that's why I think he's going to play. AJ Ewing as well. AJ Ewing came 2023, same thing as Carson Benge. I forgot what I was going to mention about the prospects coming in. And I saw this with Steve Cohen last year. I know people talking, we all only get the bullet points that we like. And I remember him saying, we cannot sign all these players for long contracts. It clocks the underneath players trying to come up, and at the same time, they might not pan out later on. You pay a big AAV and you sacrifice by all these young players coming in that don't have a big AAV. They're on their rookie contracts. And I think that's brilliant because now you're having Carson Benge, Pena, and I forgot the guy that we took from the Yankees that he decided not to go to the Yankees. Carson Benge, we have Ryan Clifford, all these minor leaguers. Yes, granted, some of them are not going to pan out, but some of them will. I made a video on my top Met players from 1988 and on. And when I was doing it, I was remembering the players that used to be with the Mets. And I remember Frank Viola. I remember that trade. We traded prospects. We traded players already ready. If you look at those players, those are the players. I'm not going to say they won it for the Twins, but they were a big part of them winning the World Series against the Braves. They had Kevin Tapani. They had Rick Aguilera. And I forgot the two other players that they had. Let me just look it up. I know I'm going to slow down what I'm talking about, but I want to cover this. Hold on. They traded them for, here you go. They got Rick Aguilera, David West, Kevin Tapani, and Tim Drummond. Kevin Tapani was good with it. Rick Aguilera was good. The other two, I'm not sure, but as you can see, I know a lot of people say we should not ball hog prospects, but at the same time, we want to balance the budget. And the way we balance it is paying players that are free agents less money because they're going to offset it, or we could be in prospects at the same time they have a better upside. At the same time, we're grooming them. And that's all I got. I just wanted to talk about the, who I think is going to be better. I think hopefully both of them play for the Mets. I know they're trade ships, just like right now, rumors. I don't want to get into rumors, but Brett Beatty, Mark Vientos, even Christian Scott, I've been hearing. But I let other YouTubers do that. I do bring it up sometimes, but right now I'm just focused on spring training. Thank you, and thank you for watching. Let's go Mets.